Greetings, I am Nice.
And I am Scandal.
And
let's play a game together. Yes.
Alright, so I'm excited that we finally have asked and gone, oh my god, could you give us an actual specification of the land? However, I am not excited that we're like, yep, we just plan to repair this without knowing it all. So that.
Yes.
On the other hand, raccoon and dog playing in the sprinkler together is a little surreal.
It's also a little, it's cute. It's just bizarre. Oh, boy.
Why are we going to check on Blaine?
Why are we still dealing with an abuser? Somebody who is manipulative and is definitely an abuser and is continuing to persist in abusive behaviors.
And yeah, pushing our boundaries, ignoring our boundaries, and continuing to sort of gaslight and undermine us. It's not cool.
Yeah, it's really not.
Why are they writing this in? What does it do for us? What are they
kidding.
adding? That's so pretty, honestly. Are we going to go inside the studio again?
Oh, we are.
Oh. Well, there we go. Fine oil. That oil is
fine oil.
I just opens the door. Knock, knock, him. I'm doing a nude drawing of myself. Come on in.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Great.
No?
This is what I didn't mean by manipulative, and now you've done it. Damn it. All right.
Damn. Hi. Knock, knock.
Oh, hey, can I interest you in a glass of wine? He is
Blaine,
trying to hit on us.
Why do you have wine here? Did you get into my wine cellar or did you go shopping? Did you walk 20 miles down the road in your bare feet and your newly acquired spiritual connection to go get a bottle of wine?
Yeah, I don't believe this for a second. And genuinely, we have mentioned off screen how much, or at least I have, how much, I will be furious if they try to redeem this character. I get that people deserve redemption, and I understand that some people can change, and they should be allowed to change. Blaine can change somewhere else away from Lily.
Yeah, he doesn't need to change with Lily. I don't know what we're
doing.
Lily
does not need to parent him or help him in any way, shape, or fashion. She is not required to.
Again, though, I'm like, all right, since people canonically have to shop for things, you put it in there, where to get the wine.
No kidding.
Is he Larry digging into your wine cellar and you should be annoyed about that, but you can't think about or even notice that because you're just like, shit, this is behavior I'm familiar with and is similar to and or comfortable to what we used to do before I left. Finally went, I've had enough.
After 5 years, too.
Sure. Why not? I won't even ask where you got it. Thank you for that nod.
What?
1, I don't like it, but 2, thank you for the nod of not asking where you got it. But also going,
this is...
Okay, so I have an ex. I have one ex that I'm still in contact with, all right? And there's this experience of let's be friends that I don't know how to do because it doesn't have any ability seemingly to have good boundaries. And this kind of let me disarm you, I'm just trying to be friends, does give people a lot of times access to, if you have to push your way to friendship, I say in quotes, as opposed to it just comes naturally and you're like, we make better friends,
Yes.
Like that you can have it. But in this case, going, let me just try and sort of slowly push your boundaries one by one and pull in more familiar things linguistically in a way that used to hurt you and control you, and also functionally in a way that used to sort of fit your algorithm for relationship.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because if I asked you where you got it, you'd be in trouble. So, what happened with your job and your money and all that? Sits down, holds court with a cup of wine. Go on, spill.
Yeah, spill the tea, dear.
If I'm going to do this, I'm going to try and own it, okay?
Completely. It's a sordid story. I put all my savings in a Ponzi scheme. Well, I haven't heard of Ponzi schemes for a while. Wow, that's been some time. They were a huge thing in the early 2000s for a while, or the 90s.
Okay, I don't like the language of this. Not I invested all my savings, but I put them all. I just stored them in a Ponzi scheme. And I'm like, you can't store anything in a Ponzi scheme. You're handing an investment to someone,
right?
Or the person. So I feel like if somebody didn't know what a Ponzi scheme was, which is really easy to look up, and they'll explain it better than I can quickly.
Yes.
It's like putting all of your savings in a Ponzi scheme. I feel like doesn't work linguistically for me because there's this experience of going, it's someone asking you for money and you give them money to invest in something or to support a project, depending on the nature of your Ponzi scheme, right?
Right.
And so the thing is I'm just I put all my money, my savings in a Ponzi scheme.
A form of fraud in which belief in the success of a non-existent enterprise is fostered by the payment of quick returns to the first investors for money invested by later investors.
Yes. So that kind of thing of, I'm going to be starting a business, I'm going to be doing, a whatever, and then you don't. But saying I put all of my savings into it sounds like, I put it there and just stored it there.
Yeah.
So I might be picky, but I don't like the way that sounds, and the way that sounds like it represents a Ponzi scheme.
Yes. I can neither confirm nor deny that there was also a small amount of insider trading.
Well, if you're legally in trouble for it, then obviously you have to deal with the consequences of that. If you're not, you should have money from the insider trading.
Also, potentially, you should just be in jail right now.
That's what I mean. So if you weren't caught for the insider trading, you should have benefited from it.
Yes.
Like, you should have, insider trading, again, being something you need to know what it means, and I only learned, sort of in the last few years. But it's basically knowing what the stock market is going to do and then buying accordingly. That's really what it is.
Yes.
Of going, I have information where I am no longer guessing at the stock market, because the stock market is meant to be guessed at.
The illegal practice of trading on the stock exchange to one's own advantage through having access to confidential information.
Exactly. So you know what's going to happen. You know a company's about to sell, or somebody's about to go under, or whatever it is.
It was actually something that Martha Stewart was put in jail for, which was very infamous at the time.
Pea gravel can be used to make a festive brooch. Sorry, there were some interesting political comics at the time and when it happened. I didn't have much connection to it, but I did experience that, like the exposure to it during my childhood.
Right.
Anyway, I'm like, if you did insider trading, are you running from the law? Have you already dealt with your experience with the law and paid that off? Or are you literally like, I benefited from it and then also shoved that into the Ponzi scheme? Like, I don't know.
Right. Who has any idea?
Blaine, I know you always say you're way better at finances than me and you have way more experience in the business world and investing, but even I know that's stupid.
I know bad decisions were made by me. The company found out, and that was that. They didn't arrest
They didn't legally prosecute him, they just fired him. They slap on the wrist. You shouldn't be insider trading while you work here. Bye.
What?
Some places do that. They go, oh, well, we don't want to deal with the legal thing of legally implicating you, because then somebody, it will be on the news, it will be, in our records, this happened in our company.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
I have heard of people also just firing people as well. Instead of dealing with the issue, they just fire the person.
And going, this would be a legal matter, but we're not going to take it to the law, so that's fine. Why did you do that stuff?
I have a theory about that.
It's because you were lonely and heartbroken and trying to fill the void that I left when I left, which wasn't filled by me when I was there, because we were oceans apart from each other, even while we were in the same bed. I'm not bitter. Go on.
Do you remember when we met in college? When I was worthless.
And I helped make you valuable by directing you, and then you took it over and said it was you all along? Yeah, I remember.
Are we really going to do this?
You weren't worthless. You just hadn't found your footing yet. This is the First Wives Club, Lily's Garden style. It's fine.
It's fine.
If you don't know the First Wives Club, this doesn't fit it exactly, but it is these women help the men build their lives and their careers.
Yes, and
through their own merits and skills and or resources.
Absolutely. I was worthless before I met you, but you focused me and you took care of me. And then I thrived. I took charge and I made my money, and over time I got full of myself.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And then I messed up. And when you were gone, I just kept on messing up over and over. Lily, I want you back. Is this really where we're going to go?
One, I suspect that. But two, I suspect this convention is sort of like just to make, like, okay, so based on the romance I've read and based on the awareness of the heteronormative narrative and what creates drama in your isolationist fantasy romance, etc., whatever it is, which this one isn't really isolationist fantasy because he's got a kid and ex-wife and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, in your romance arc, the things that create drama to interfere with it, which make it more interesting, have more tension, etc., theoretically, are the types of thing of an ex comes back and they actually have a good case for why you should be interested in them. And then the reader has to wonder, oh no, will they choose the new one that I'm invested in, theoretically, and would like them to choose and is clearly better for them and a better choice? Or will they go back to the scumbag who I doubt in all ways has ever been redeemed or is actually good for them? And that is what I think this literary convention is. That's going to be my guess at that.
All right. And if I was normally reading a book, I would have been done with this by now.
It's okay. My friend is a trooper, and honestly, despite the irritation with this game, we have had some fun together.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Which is totally a great time to spend with your friends, by the way. If you're going to hate anything, hate it with your friends.
The friends that shade together stay
together. Yes! It's so good.
All right.
Over and over. Lily, I need you.
Apparently what you need is my money and my property and my buildings and my space and my caretaking and my approval. You need all of my resources, Blaine.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you didn't learn anything from me. So actually, let me make an argument real quick. You know what, Blaine? You don't need me because I was never able to teach you anything. I'm shit as far as you're concerned with a teacher because you didn't learn anything to internalize to be able to maintain on your own. So if I don't keep babysitting you for the rest of your life, you never will learn anything from me. Therefore, I'm a poor match for you and you should find someone else. Ha!
Okay.
All right.
Does that make you feel better?
Yes.
I hope so.
Do you feel better?
Like, I don't know. I'm entertained at my friend right now. Anyway,
Fine.
that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not here because I need you. I'm here because I can't do that. I'm here because I need you. When you're not with me, I just don't work.
You're a failure.
Except for 5 fucking years, you guys never got married, which doesn't mean anything, by the way. I hate where people are like, no, but you got married. That means you succeeded at the relationship.
I've been so sad for one very good friend of mine who I cherish very dearly, that nonetheless seems to have some sort of a complex about marriage is a big success that other people have had that he hasn't had. And I'm like, it's really easy to get married.
Yes.
Like, it's really easy. I mean, I've been proposed to 4 times in my life.
I was going to say, it's easy to get married. It's harder to get a divorce.
It is harder to get divorced. It's also very easy to get married at really any age in your life, so long as you're not picky to whom it's to.
I know!
Oh, but they've gotten married, yeah, and their marriages failed, and they are divorced women that are trying to date you, or are dating you, and then have, that eventually ended, kind of thing, and going, I know about relationships because I've been married and you haven't. I'm like, that is not... You having a failed marriage that you really weren't happy with for most of the time. Now, if you had a failed marriage that was really pretty good for a while, sure, talk about that. But you're like, it was terrible the whole time, and we never could work it out, and then we eventually got divorced, and it just was awful. But I've done the marriage, so I have that merit badge that you don't have. I have this achievement unlocked in my life skills tree.
Yeah, so this is your Uncle Scandal, and Auntie Lie is going to be telling you that, by the way, marriage is not a qualifier for success.
Oh my
God.
God.
It is an easy thing to do, and like I said, it is very easy to get it is very difficult to get a divorce, at least in the United States, but it does not mean jack shit.
I forgot I'm actually an aunt. My brother has kids.
Oh.
My older brother, he has kids. He has for years, and we don't really talk much, and so I just forget sometimes that I'm an aunt.
My friend forgets.
It's fine. I've never behaved in any function as an aunt, but nonetheless, there it is. All right.
I just don't work.
You just don't work. So what you're saying is that I complete you.
This hurts. You made me work. Please make me work again. I won't mess up again.
I am so much better with you. Okay, this is every single trope. This is that one of you complete me. This is that one of going, I am better, a better person with you. You make me a better man. And you know what? I have had that said to me, and while I appreciate that having someone at your beck and call who is only there to assist you in your experience and will bend over backwards to support you and drive you towards success is really fucking convenient for you.
Really empowering.
Really damn helpful, if you will. It adds nothing to the other person if that's what they're doing. And you go, I'm so much better with you. And you go, yeah, but I'm not better with you. And while I appreciate that your life is important and you can fix it with me, with just adding me, 2 dashes of me, a cup of me will solve this recipe of you, I don't want to do it because it does nothing for me, and both of us have value. Yes. I should not have to sacrifice me to better you because you are not more valuable inherently than me. We both have value, which is why I always and forever continue to laud equivalent partners, equals in a relationship. You both receive, you both give.
Yes.
Blah, 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 and rhetoric of please value yourself. Understand they also have value, but not worth the sacrifice of you.
Not to the expense of yourself.
That one. Like, do not like sacrifice yourself and who you are for them.
This is really frustrating.
All right.
I won't mess up again.
Blaine carefully sets down wine goblet before dropping it in the my power pose is not working. Curls up in the chair, looks at him. No, Blaine.
You don't need to give me an answer now. Let's just talk and have some wine.
Okay, so for anyone who's watching this series and has not watched our Freshman Fantasy series, just probably about 20 episodes in Freshman Fantasies. It's not that deep, and you'd probably have a riot in the meantime because there are a lot of these kind of ridiculous conversations. However, warning for sexual assault in that romance game, it's there. There is date rape under the influence. It's not explicit, but just content warning. If you go over there, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun accents, and it starts on a pretty dark note for a romance game. Just so you know. But anyways, there was a point at which the protagonist, who we've named Burn, because Burn, baby!
Burn!
Has her new boyfriend after her really unfortunate sort of pseudo-dating experience. And he's like, I want you. And she's really uncomfortable, sort of quietly drawing away from it. He's like, don't answer now. And we've talked about it, how it's this convention that people can use of going, if I know your answer will be no, or I'm afraid your answer will be no, I'll tell you not to give the answer that is true for you so that I can try and convince you more. So I can try and either manipulate or direct you more. And as far as I know, it is almost always, if not uniformly, a predatory behavior. It is a behavior of going, no, don't speak your mind, don't know yourself, don't let yourself know what you know. Just give it time. You don't really know that until you've had more information. Let me give you the more information via more experiences.
Let it breathe. Also, there's another thing. So this is a behavioral pattern that I have seen particularly with men, is playing, not only saying, let's just talk, but also, you don't have to give me an answer now. And also on top of that is, let's have more wine. Wine is specifically something that disinhibits you. You must be careful with it in those scenarios because, yes, while it helps people relax, it also basically, it's a depressant. Alcohol will basically break down many of your internal barriers, and if you really are not careful, someone will very easily manipulate you as a result. Also, wine, unlike beer, actually tends to, on average, have a much higher alcohol content.
Yes.
So we're talking anywhere from about 12 to 17, if not in some cases over 20% alcohol, compared to like 4 or 6 for a beer, which is why I always think it's really insulting when people go, oh, you're just gonna have wine? Well, that doesn't mean anything. I'm like, it has way more alcohol in it, alcohol content, compared to what your little piddly beer does. So, you know, don't let somebody manipulate you in that way. That is something to very much keep in mind, and especially if you're concerned in a scenario where you're having a power imbalance thing, or that somebody is trying to manipulate you, do not drink.
I say try and say, if drinking is a comfort mechanism for you, if it is a type of support you can receive for yourself or a way you cope, in whatever way that looks like and however you want to handle it, try not to do it until you're away from that person.
Yes.
Like, either don't do it or don't do it until you're away from that person.
Yes.
Again, that kind of thing. But I'm like, this really is, telling someone don't answer now is really a way of going, either, like if it's very thoughtful, in a very considerate situation, going, maybe you don't want to answer now because you might want to think about all the things, like someone making a business deal kind of thing.
Right.
And going, here, we've talked all of this over, this is a really big decision for you. But a lot of times it's coming most genuinely from someone who's not involved in it.
Right.
You're going, I'm thinking about buying a fence or a car or whatever. And your friend goes, why don't you wait on it? And you're going, well, I just don't think I should do it. And you go, that's okay, but why don't you think about it for a night? Or maybe I should just go ahead and do it. And they just encourage you to think on it.
This is why context is important. In this particular scenario, again, with the fact that Blaine is an abuser, we really are reluctant in, like, this is just abusive behavior. This is all this is. So we're going to keep going.
All of those things. Okay. I can do that. Now, as far as plying her with wine, you can say, she'll be disinhibited, she'll beat the crap out of him. On the other hand, a lot of times what disinhibiting looks like with someone who, like Lily, hasn't dealt with a lot of their stuff, it might be, I'll be angry with you at first, and then I'll cry at you, and then I'll miss whatever I'm familiar with about you, and then we'll reconnect. That is a very popular romance narrative because it happens in real life, too.
Yes, which is very sad.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
And that's... we stay there?
Oh, God.
Please say we do not spend the night in there.
Oh, no. Okay, well, we're going to start, and I'm like, we're just going to go ahead and start this in the next one. Holy shit, I am deeply uncomfortable right now, and this is not, wow. If you wanted drama out of your, your story, this is definitely a way to do drama, and... Wow. Okay. Thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And please also feel free to share our videos with somebody that you think might have a good time with us, or you just want to start, like, a conversation with them.
Or if you just want to support our channel, that's a great way to support us.
Yes, absolutely. And then also, if you actually want to support us more directly, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or our Patreon and get some links in the description down below. Other than that, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!